I'm Catherine, and I'm here today to share a book review with you for Taste of Darkness by Maria V. Snyder. This book is the third in the Healer trilogy from Snyder, and it is awesome. Oh my goodness. The first two books in the trilogy were really good, and this one just like topped the cake. So I will link down below the review I did on my old channel for the first book, so you can go and check that out if you'd like. Somehow, I kind of don't think I did a review for the second book. If I did, I'll link that down below too, whether it's a video review or just a written one on my blog. This book, oh my god, this book. I love the characters in this book. So we are dealing, this is a very brief synopsis of the entire series, not just this book, but we are dealing with a girl named Avery, and she is a healer. While she was studying to become a healer, this horrible plague was released in the kingdoms and killed most of the population, and everyone, because of it, blamed the healers because the healers weren't able to heal people from it. And what a healer does is that they're actually able to physically take on the ailments that the sick person or the person with a broken limb or whatever has into themselves, and because of their advanced magical makeup, they're able to heal the person completely and then heal themselves at a speedier rate. Very like high fantasy and magic and all that stuff, which is great. Usually I find I'm a little iffy about high fantasy books, but this series and this book was awesome. The first two books, you see Avery meet up with the other main characters in the book and fall in love and get captured and get tortured and thought of as dead, and other people are thought of as dead, and they come back to life because they weren't really dead, and craziness. A lot of stuff happens in this series. And then we come to the third book. The great thing about these books is that it does take off right where the last one began, which when you were waiting for them to come out, it really sucks because hello, huge ass cliffhanger in the first two books, and this is the third one, and oh my god. But as soon as you're able to open the next book, it is just, you're caught mid-dive. You don't even get to stand on the diving board. That's how amazing, like, and quickly you're thrust into everything. In this book, you are dealing with, the second book ends with Carrick having got the plague and Avery can't heal him, and you're dealing with him having the plague, and you're just like, my heart was in my stomach from the first page. But, of course, like any good form of romance, there is a solution, which happens. But then aside from that, you're also dealing with new strains of the plague in this book, and new enemies and old enemies, and getting rid of all the enemies, and it was just one thing after another, after another, after another, and it did not stop until the very end. In fact, there was so much action and adventure in this book that even when the final climax that has been building up for the last 3 books with the main characters and then the one main bad guy happens, it's like 10 pages left in the book, and it's almost anticlimactic. I mean, it's still really good, but so much has just happened that kind of overshadowed it that you're just like, oh, well, yeah. And then it's over in the span of a couple pages, and that's it. So, whoa, total roller coaster. Because it is the type of book that is never ending, I can't really give a lot away. So yeah, I'm going to try not get a lot away while reviewing this. I love the characters in this book, especially the main band of characters. So that's Avery and Carrick, who is her love interest, who is a forest mage, and then there is Bellin, who they call Papa Bear, and the 2 monkeys, and Flea. And wait, how many people is that? 6. So those 6 people are the main people in all 3 books. And of course, the majority of the books are told from Avery's point of view. I believe the entirety of the first book is told from her point of view, and then you get random chapters in the second book with Carrick's point of view because they're separated for the second book. And then in this one, the same thing happens again. You do get alternating points of view. Pretty much at the end of every chapter, there's like a few pages of Carrick's point of view. And it's great because, if I can find it quickly, it's not like chapter titles, but it is just his name, so that you do know that it is a separate like point of view happening, and then the next chapter starts after that's finished. So it's great that way. The romance between Avery and Carrick, you're just like, your heart is just wrenched out of your body, and then it keeps getting like put back and put in, and yeah. You ever see Once Upon a Time, the TV show, and how the evil queen can like reach into someone's chest and grab their heart and like remove it and put it back in and crumble it into dust? That's what happens in these books. It's good, but it's like, oh my god. The other great thing about these books is that all of the secondary characters and the third party characters and the random characters and characters that are only in a couple chapters or like half a book or whatever, all of the characters are really well developed. The great thing about the series as well as the last book is that things that have happened in the first book and characters that were introduced, their storylines are now being resolved in this book through the main characters, and it's so hard to explain. You kind of gotta experience it, but really good. And the author was fantastic at really building her characters well and describing them well, and building them so that you really would believe them to be true. Like, they're very multidimensional. They're not flat characters at all. I don't think there was a single flat character in this book, let alone the entire series, which is a fantastic thing as a reader to experience, because some books you're just like, oh, I don't care about these characters. I don't care. Oh my god, that's not how they'd really be. But that's not the case for this book. If you like high fantasy, I would highly, highly suggest this. And even if you don't like high fantasy, it has so much else going for it. Like, it has the action and adventure, and there's romance, and there's magic, and there's battle, and there's war, and there's peace, and there's botany. Like, this book really offers a lot of everything. So, highly, highly recommend. I love this book, and I can't wait. I have her other 2 adult trilogies on my bookshelf, ready and waiting for me to read, and I'm only missing like one of them, the 3rd book in one of them. So definitely going to be reading a lot more of Maria V. Snyder this year, because if this series, which is her most recent one, has anything to say about the rest of her works, oh boy, I have a lot in store. This is an adult trilogy, and her other trilogies are adult trilogies as well, but she does have a duology that is young adult, and that is the Outside In and Inside Out books, and they're a lot more science fiction, and they're really well done too. I loved them as well. So anyways, that is it for me this time. Nice short review. Hopefully I can get it down to around 5 or 6 minutes with editing. Thanks for watching, and until next time, guys, happy reading! I'm wearing my Slytherin shirt today. Slytherin! It's my Quidditch shirt. You can see it. Slytherin! It's very nice. I love it.